Have you ever wondered how much a Caterpillar excavator, forklift, or dump truck costs? Do you want to be inspired by someone who has created his own business out of selling and restoring those machines? Or maybe you're just wondering what it takes to be a good negotiator. Our guest today will explain what it's like to sell large equipment and how you can be the owner of your own business. Today's guest will tell us what it's like to sell and restore big construction equipment and other machines to contractors. He'll also tell us how those experiences shaped his management and negotiation skills. Skills which can be used throughout all walks of life.
Hi, thank you for joining us for today's edition of Person to Person. I'm your host, Nicole Marinelli. For many of us, we tend to marvel at the cars that take us to school and to home, but we often forget about the machines that helped us build our homes and many other essential surroundings. Here today to tell us more about those machines and the process it takes for one to be put to use, Oscar Cordova.
How are you, Nicole?
Good, how are you? So, Oscar, can you tell us about the nature of your business and how it got started?
The nature of my business is the buying, selling, servicing of used construction equipment, brokering also, I apologize. And we got started some 25 years ago, and basically of selling of forklifts and some other what we call aerial equipment, which is man lifts and scissor lifts. But that's how we got started, and we're in the process of selling internationally used equipment to mostly to the overseas market, but also domestically and locally.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So tell us, how do you go about getting your customers?
The customers, well, through time, but mostly advertising in trade magazines, very important nowadays with a website and online. Also going to many auction houses where they are selling the auctions of heavy construction equipment, where I leave brochures and I get to meet buyers, introduce myself, and through that we've developed a large customer base throughout the world, to be honest with you. Not that I travel to these places, but we ship them overseas.
Oh, very interesting. So can you please tell us some of the machines you work with, whether it be the ones that you sell, restore, or monitor as they are delivered?
Yes. Right in back of us we have an excavator, and I believe there's some more coming up, but excavators and wheel loaders and dump trucks, those are about the most important piece of construction equipment at a job site. In particular, the excavator, I would say, like the one we have here, is about the number one piece of equipment that is used at a construction site.
Oh.
One of the most recognizable pieces of construction equipment, the Caterpillar excavator. This machine retails close to about $50,000 for a late 90s to early 2000s model. Its operating weight, 60,000 pounds. The 111-gallon fuel tank and swing torque of about 56,000 feet make it a favorite among excavating jobs. This is a quality machine, but nowhere near the historical value of Movic Equipment's latest restoration candidate.
53 or 55 Ford F700 dump truck, okay? And these are classics, these are antiques. That's when Ford's always considered one of the top manufacturers of trucks, heavy duty. And this particular truck, it was gas, a V8 engine. And one of the features that this truck has that's amazing for that era, it's got air brakes. It's a dump body truck. It does start. I can't start it right now, the battery's dead. But it's a great candidate to be restoration. You see a lot of these trucks in shows once fully restored. They're a thing of beauty. And this particular truck, the owner it's not interested to be restored. He just wants me to sell it for him. But it does start, have started it. But It's part of American history, this particular truck, 55 F700. We're looking at a year 2001 International Harvester model 3800, 71 passenger school bus, which is for sale and for export, going to Nicaragua. And it's being brought at this yard at the moment, called People to Places, where we will go over it hopefully tomorrow or the next day for exporting. And this is how we transport it from the yard it was in Wallingford, Connecticut. Brought this bus from another yard where the problem is she was not starting, or when she would start, she would shut off within 5 minutes or so. So we had to tow it to a yard where we have mechanics here to study it. We believe that the problem with it has air in the fuel lines, or it could be an electrical problem. But at the moment, she does crack over and she's not running. But we need to repair this in order to export it properly. Equipments have to run, otherwise it's very, very expensive if they have to assist you in anything. And that's what we're going to do. We'll try to repair it tomorrow, and hopefully she will have a running equipment so we can have a satisfied customer over in Nicaragua. Thank you.
Do you have any interesting stories dealing with customers?
I'm sure there are some. I can't come off the top of my mind, but dealing with customers, most of the times I deal with customers that are online, I'm on the phone with overseas, or communicating through emails. But once you meet them in person and they show up unexpectedly to your shop, I would say that, and they try to play some pranks on you, and then you realize it's somebody you've been dealing with for a long time, but you never met them personally. I would say those are kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Going back to the construction aspect of your job, what is it like being on site?
Well, on site, it's many things going on, especially large project, a lot of machines going around. But that's not my field per se. My field is more of the selling of the equipment and the servicing. So I do go to the sites once in a while if an equipment has to be serviced. But many times we get it out of the job site for safety reasons and then service it whether in the shop or nearby a safe place. But it seems kind of hectic, a lot of things going around, but you got to wear a hard hat, and it's an interesting thing just to look at.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some notable projects that you've contributed to?
Notable, I would say that I take pride in selling when you sell some equipment that you know was used in for example, in Haiti a few years back, some equipment that I was able to ship over to some companies there that got in the development of some roads and hospitals, especially after the earthquake in Haiti, and to know that some of your equipment was able to build some of these projects. You take some pride into that.
Okay, that's great. So what's some advice that you can give to our viewers about how to negotiate better?
Negotiating, almost like negotiating in any aspect, but in construction, you have to know your equipment. You got to know the market value of it. Got to know the wholesale value of it. Got to know if that's the right equipment for it. So you do your homework. Find out, even in the market, you got dealer has a pricing and wholesale has a different pricing, and independent dealers have pricing. So knowing the product and doing your homework and shopping around, basically, you'll get right in the ballpark.
And what advice do you have for salesmen or people that want to own their own company?
You want to know your own company, advice would be to work with another company, to see all the ins and outs and the expenses and the trials and tribulations. So a lot of people just see the money aspect of it, that you make some good monies, but there are a lot of pitfalls you can take. So by getting yourself working with a company for a few years, you'll be you'll have an idea of what to look for, and you can decide if you're that's the area you want to go, starting your own business. Definitely work with somebody before you start.
So what does the future hold for your business?
hopefully the economy is turning around. It's been a downfall since 2008. We're looking to pick up as we were in 2006, 2007. It was very good. But lately we've been selling more parts overseas. People are repairing their older equipments, so there are needs of parts. And the U.S. market is one of the best pricing when it comes to parts. And hopefully we'll pick up when the economy gets back to its strong in a few years from now, and we'll be back selling complete equipment and in that same pace. So hopefully it's looking good.
That's great. I hope everything works out. I'm sure it will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So today we got to meet a businessman who takes great pride in selling and restoring machines. His work has made both local and international projects become easier and more successful. Now that we have a greater appreciation for bigger construction equipment and other machines, let's honk our horns less when we find ourselves back of one driving 10 miles per hour. A tremendous thanks to you, Oscar Cordova, for joining us today.
You're welcome, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us also be mindful of all construction workers out in the field and be sure to yield at them at all times. We hope you had just as much fun watching today's edition of Person to Person as we had constructing it. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.